Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Happy Tuesday. Hope all is doing well. Elaine Proby here, CEO of PROBY'S Tax and Accounting and Tips from Elaine's Desk. And I'm here to bring you guys some great information. Again, most people is going to be excited to receive this information we have today because these are questions that everyone has that's running a business on a regular basis. Okay, so today we want to talk about 4 deductible business expenses. Very, very, very important. These are questions that we get all day long. Most people out there, most of you guys are running and operating a business, and everyone wants to know, what do I get for my taxes? What kind of write-off do I have? What are my deductible business expenses? So today I'll tell you guys about 4 of those common business expenses that most people want to know, can they deduct? All right. So, hey, Rod Smith, thanks for jumping on here. LeVar and Lorna, thank you guys. Thanks for the hearts. All right. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Hi, Sonia. Thanks for jumping in. Hit like and share on this video, guys. Get everybody on board. Again, we're talking about 4 deductible business expenses here on this lovely Tuesday afternoon. So let's jump right into this. Business expenses are the cost of doing business, operating a business. And you guys, once again, every time I talk about business, I want to make sure you guys know it's not necessarily a huge corporation. You don't have to have formed even a corporation, an LLC, or anything. If you are conducting a personal business, this is for you as well. Okay, so I just want to get this clear because a lot of people think that if it's not some huge operation, then it's not a business. But anything that you're doing, providing a service or providing a product, even on an individual basis, you are operating a business. This is for you. All right, so the first point today, guys, we want to talk about one of the most common business expense that most people have questions about, and it is the home office expense. So home office business expense is the first point I wanted to make today because everyone has question about this. And specifically since COVID, most people are working at home. A lot of people have started businesses and they are working from their home, and they want to know what kind of deduction do they get from working from home. Okay, guys. So this is the thing. When it says home office, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're operating a desk and a computer. This goes for anything that has to do with a studio, with any type of business you're operating there. It is considered your home office. Okay, it's considered a home office. So let's talk about the things that you could deduct as a home office expense. The business use of your home, you get to deduct things like the mortgage interest payment, guys, the property taxes, the insurance on that home, your rent if you're not buying. You get to deduct the utilities there, any type of repairs. So all this stuff is a part of the deduction that you take for your home office. Now, a lot of people need to understand the things that relates to the house. Now, we're going to talk about the fact that you don't get to deduct 100% of those expenses because, one, you're not using the entire home for your business. Okay, so if your rent is $2,000, you don't get to deduct $2,000. You get to deduct a portion. Only the home office portion of that expense you get to deduct, guys. So the way you figure this out is the area that's used specifically for your office. You have to be exclusively doing business in that space all the time on a regular basis. If it's an office where you see clients, you can see them there if need be. You know, if it's a place where you're operating any other type of business, a studio or anything like that, or you're selling, you have your merchandise there, your inventory is there. This area that is used is the portion you get to deduct, right? So what you need to do is you have to figure out what is the space, what is the square footage of the area that you're using exclusively for your business. And the way to do this is by the square footage. Sometimes you can do it by rooms. If you have 5 rooms in the house and one of it is used for your business, then of course you get to deduct 20% because the whole house is 100%. So you could do it that way, or you could figure out the actual square footage. And if it's just an area, you can determine what that space is. That is the portion that you get to deduct as your deductible home office business expenses. All right. So I want to make this clear because a lot of people get this confused. They're thinking that they can write off their rent and they think they can write off everything that relates to the house, but it's only the portion. Now, if you had to do something exclusively to the room, let's say you took one of your room and you turned it into a studio or you turned it into your office and you specifically did some painting or some repairs, some upgrading, whatever that is. Now for that, you can deduct 100% of those expenses because they are directly related to that space, right? So there's a difference whether it's the entire rent or whether you just upgraded your home office space. So that's 100% deductible, right? If you made it better, whatever you did in there, that's 100% because it's only for that space specifically that you upgraded, that you turned into your home office. You could deduct everything that you did on those repairs. Hi, Geronimo. Thanks for jumping on. Yes. So Geronimo says, this is important to me. This is important to me. Okay, do I need a wonderfully very beautiful, let's see, reading glasses today? Because, it's a little hazy out there, right? So this is important for me to learn and know. Thank you for enlightening us. All right, thank you so much. Awesome. Good. Hit like and share, guys. Very important information. A lot of you guys, of course, like I said, you're operating a business. You're running a business, and it doesn't have to be a corporation. You are running a business. You're doing a studio. You're doing merchandising, all this stuff. It is a business. All right. So let's go back to the points we're making today. The first one was home office. Point number 2, deductions, deductible business expenses. The second point today, guys, is travel expenses. All right. Travel expenses. Now, travel expenses deductible is specifically if it is for business. So all your travel, if you had to travel by automobile, whether it's a car, whether it's by train, however you had to take transportation to get to the destination where you're going to be conducting business, it is considered a travel expense, right? Now, hotel stay, wherever you have to stay, pay for that. Any type of transportation, ground transportation, if you got to pay for a cab fare, if you got to pay for a train fare, all that stuff is deductible business, traveling business expenses, right? If you had to obviously buy meals, because you have to pay, to eat, all of the meals is deductible while you're on that travel, while you're there to meet with your clients or customers or whatever you're doing there, business related. Then you get to deduct the meals. So the lodging, the meals, the transportation, and however the transportation is, it doesn't have to just be an airline. It could be however you got there, if you drove or if you took a train, whatever that transportation is, any type of business calls. If you let's say you go somewhere for a business meeting and you had to pay money to set up some type of, area or maybe just internet or video or visuals, whatever you have to set up, display, any of this stuff is deductible expenses, right? Now, you may have to ship. Let's say you're going there to do some kind of, set up, you're selling merchandise and you're traveling with merchandise and you ship those merchandise there. All those shipping costs, you can deduct as a part of that expense for going there to do business, right? So I know, for instance, like let's say, if you have to ship instruments, if you are a band, you have to ship instruments, you got to get to that location. That is deductible, right? You can deduct all those expenses. So travel expenses for business, has to be business related, is a deductible expense for your business. That's the second point today. And I want to make sure that this is clear. And so that everybody knows that when they go on any type of business travel, keep track of everything you spend, even the transportation, even the tips, whatever you spend money on while on that business travel, you can deduct. All right. So that's my second point today, travel expenses. Let's move right on to the third point today. And this one, everybody loves this because everyone really need to ask about. They always ask about this, is the vehicle expense deduction. If I use my car for business, can I deduct it, right? So vehicle expense deduction, guys, the portion, the mileage that you use to go from one business location to the next business location, from an office to that business location, you get to deduct those vehicle expenses. Now, you could do this 2 ways. You could do it based on mileage, or you could do it based on the actual expenses, right? The standard mileage rate, the government has different rates every year. This year is like 58.5 cents. The rate changes every year, and based on how many business miles you have going from one location to another, that's what you get to deduct based on the mileage. And the next one is either the actual expenses you can take, right? Which is like the gas, the oil, the repairs. Those are the things that you could either take. So it's one or the other. You don't get to write off all the repairs on the car and the gas and everything else, and then you do the mileage as well. You don't do them both. You either do the standard mileage rate or you do the actual expenses, right? So everybody got to get this clear. Some people don't really understand this. And now if you say lease a vehicle and you start taking the actual expenses on that vehicle lease, you have to continue to take the same type of deductions for the lease, which is if you want to be writing off the gas and the oil, the license, registration, all this stuff, you have to continue to do that throughout the life of the lease. You can't go mileage rate one time and then you're going to do the standard, the actual expenses 1 year. You got to be consistent with it. So if you're doing actual expenses, then you continue to do the actual expenses. If it's the standard mileage rate, then it's the business miles. By that rate, you get to write that off. Okay, so that's how you write off your vehicle expenses. Just keep in mind that every time you move for business, that is mileage, vehicle expenses, there's costs there that you get to write off. Okay, so make sure that that happens when you guys are doing business. Keep in mind. So let's see, we have a Yvette Smith. Thanks for jumping on here. Hey, Elaine. Geronimo said, what if your vehicle have a promotion decal on it? How does that work? And Angela Gordon, does the car have to be registered to the business? Okay, so let's do Geronimo is first. If it has a promotional decal, right? So what happens is when you have a vehicle with a promotional decal, the way that works is they pay you. They pay you to put that decal on there, right? So what you have to do is make sure that you're claiming that income, and then you're offsetting. You can still offset all of your mileage deductions for your other business as well. But if you're doing a promotional decal on your vehicle, and of course they're paying you to do that, so just report that income. As long as you're recording all your income, you can go ahead, of course, to write off all your expenses. There won't be an issue there, okay? And then Angela said, is the car have to be registered to business? No, the car does not have to be registered to your business. As long as you are using that car for business, you could get to write off the mileage deduction and or the actual expenses, Angela. So the car does not have to be registered for the to the business. It could be registered in your name. As long as you're using it for business, you can go ahead and write the deduction off. Okay. Great questions, you guys. Keep it coming. All right. Okay, so you guys hit like and share on this on this live for deductible business expenses. Let's get into what's that? We're on the fourth one already. Boy, this is flying. So the fourth one is meals. And it used to be meals and entertainment. They have issues now with the entertainment, so that you don't get to write that off because there's some fine line as to what those are. However, the meals, which is what I really want to focus on today, guys, they have changed the rules where before you can only deduct maybe 50 or 80%. Now there is some meals that you can deduct up to 100% of those meals. But here are the circumstances. You have to have gone to a restaurant, sitting down, having a business meeting to be able to deduct 100% of those meals for business. Okay, so it has to be restaurant related. Now they make sure that it's specifically not picking up a cup of coffee and keep running. You got to be sitting down at a restaurant and having that meal for it to be 100% deductible, and it has to be a business meal. Right? You have to be discussing business. All right. So other than that, you can also do 100% meal deduction. Let's say you ordered some meals from a restaurant or from somewhere for, let's say, a holiday, office holiday party, something like that. You're providing food and drinks for the office, things like that. You get to deduct as well, 100%. And then if you are not sitting down at a restaurant, other business meals, that you get to deduct 80% of those, or 50%, depending on the circumstances. However, just be careful with the 100% meals, that it has to be a sit-down restaurant situation and you are discussing business in order to take that deduction. Okay? Any question on that? All right, guys. So let me recap these 4 deductible business expenses. Very important. Every day people are asking these questions, and you know what? The thing about it is make the money and you want to make sure that you keep the money. So you want to write off all these expenses. So first one today, guys, is the home office expense. Everyone probably has this. I'm sure a majority of the folks is conducting some type of business at home and are still doing it. And even I need to point this out, even if you have an office location, even if you have another physical office location and you're conducting business again from your home, you still get to write off the portion of your home that is used for that office space, studio space, whatever space it is that you're conducting your business. Okay. So I wanted to make sure that that is clear, because sometimes you do have an office space and you're still working from home. Okay. So that's the first point. Let's see. Geronimo said, keep up the good work. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. All right, guys. I don't know why I don't keep these things on. I should. Really? They don't look that bad, right? Do they? All right. So the second point today is the travel expenses. Don't forget, it doesn't matter how you travel, by car, train, airline, that is deductible. The fare is deductible. Ground transportation, all the meals and things like that you have to do, shipping your equipment, shipping whatever it is, your merchandise. All of those expenses are deductible in your travel. It has to be obviously business related. All right. So, and then the third point today, the vehicle expenses. It's got to be used for work. Now, guys, it's not from your house to your office you get to deduct. It's going to different clients. So that's the mileage that you get to deduct, and or it's either the standard mileage or the actual expenses, but you can't do them both at the same time. Okay. And the fourth point today is the meals. You want to make sure that the meal expenses as 100% if in fact you're in a restaurant setting and it is a business deduction, and or 80%, 50% based on the circumstances. But again, you get to deduct the meals as business related expenses, guys. We want to make sure that we take advantage of these. There's plenty more expenses, but of course we'll get to those as as we go along, because there's so many other ones. But these are mostly the ones that people really, really, really ask about, and everyone in general will have these four expenses, definitely if you're operating any kind of business. All right. So with that said, guys, I think that covers it today. Don't want to make it any more cumbersome. Hope you guys make some notes. And I love listening and learning. Yes, yes, yes. All right, because that's, that definitely is a plus. Once you know how to do it better. We are always making sure that not only do you make the money, but you save. You save on taxes. This is the only way you can get wealthy. A lot of folks, a lot of major corporations, people who make millions of dollars, they take advantage of the tax code. You want to know why they don't pay as much taxes and they make all this money? It's simply because they know what to do. They know what to write off. They know what to deduct. They know how to minimize their tax liability. Guys, this is the reason why I'm trying to let you guys understand this process. When you come to me to get your taxes done and you don't have all your business deduction, then of course you won't be taking advantage of the tax code. So I want you to know this up front so you can do this. So when you come, you can say, here's my list of deduction, Elaine. This is what I have done, and these are the things that I know I can write off. And then you're going to be taking and getting the benefit of writing off everything that you can. All right, that's what we want to do here. All right, so that brings me back to, if you guys are still in the process of getting your business going and or take it to the next level, make sure that you go to elainesdesk.com. All right, elainesdesk.com. There's a webinar on there that tells you everything you need to know to get your business started. There is a course on there from brainstorm to business success. It's going to talk about whether or not you're operating in the right business structure. We talk about business plan, the importance of all this stuff, marketing, naming your business. There's a lot of great stuff there. Go to elainesdesk.com, guys. Make sure you take advantage of that information. And if you're still confused and you want to have a one-on-one consultation, you guys can go to PROBY'S Tax and Accounting, and there's a calendar there. You can book yourself a free 15-minute consultation to get more clarity on this stuff, and or call the office at 323-290-9034 for more information. So if you need any kind of clarity there, guys, make sure you do that. And I want to also let you guys know that there is going to be we're having what is it called? A panel discussion on business. We have that coming up in the next month or so. There's a panel discussion. You guys will get the information, go to Elaine's desk and look for that information. There's going to be a panel discussion. It's going to be live. We're going to be at a location. You guys will be able to come in and get all your questions answered to take your business to the next level. So look, 2023, like I said, is our year. We're going to make this happen. And therefore, I want you guys to get all the information you can to make your business grow and to make a whole lot more money, because it's out there for everyone. She says, powering your business forward and lock in the secrets to small business success panel. It's going to be on what? May the 20th. We have a date. May 20th. You guys spread the date. Make sure that you register for that. It's going to be at a location. You guys can come in and it's just going to be fun. I can't wait to have this. Okay. So make sure that you spread the word on this. All right, guys. So I think that says it. Keep your notification on every Tuesday and Thursday. And for those of you who have an LLC or a partnership or an S corporation, the deadline for filing is tomorrow, March 15th. Yes, tomorrow. So if you haven't filed those taxes yet, make sure that you get an extension, or it will cost you a lot of penalty. If you don't file your S corporation on time, your partnership on time, it's going to cost you a lot of money. $300 per person for every partner that's in there per month. It's going to get very expensive, into the thousands of dollars. So make sure that you get an extension if you're not ready to file those taxes or they haven't been filed. Once again, PROBY'S Tax and Accounting. We do everything online, virtual. You don't have to leave the comfort of your home or office, and we can file it in any state. So go to our website at PROBY'Stax.com. All right, we're there to help you. We have a lot of qualified individuals that can help you with that. Okay, that is it. Happy Tuesday. All right, thank you. Thanks, John. Thanks for jumping on here. You guys, that's it today. I will see you guys back here on Thursday. And Thursday, we're talking about coping with failure and setbacks in business. Now, I like talking about mindset on Thursdays and also keeping people motivated so you can stay moving ahead in your business. Okay, so Thursday, we're going to talk about coping with failure and setback in your business. Sometimes when you think you're not getting anywhere, you're still moving ahead, and we want to keep everybody motivated so you can continue to move forward. Okay, so you guys, make sure you tune back in here. See you on Thursday. All right. Thanks, Geronimo. See you on Thursday too, guys. With that said, I want you guys to have a wonderful rest of your Tuesday. See you guys back here on Thursday. And you guys take care of each other and take care of yourself. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.